The Russians carried out a combined strike on Lutsk. In total, they launched more than 30 Shahids and at dawn, 2 more missiles. As a result of the hit, a private house was virtually destroyed and windows were blown out in neighboring homes. Preliminarily, there were no casualties and a massive Shahid drone attack on Lviv as well. There were explosions in different districts there overnight and there were people injured. Fires broke out at several locations. RTSN correspondent Marichka Kuzhik is ready to share the latest information from the scene. She'll tell us more about the aftermath of the strikes. Marichka, tell us, what were the Russians targeting in Lviv this time?
Hello, Natalia. This is definitely one of the most massive drone attacks on Lviv since the start of the full-scale invasion. I'm now near Alina Stepanivna Street, and as you can see, this is what's happening around here. This is the situation after the shelling. Rescuers and utility workers are still working here, and there are also medics and psychologists present. The area is cordoned off with tape, and no one except residents is allowed in as they continue to clear the rubble, inspect the damaged buildings, and evacuate burned-out cars.
We heard the air raid siren and went to the shelter. And then it hit and the explosions started. So we stayed in the shelter the whole time.
Were there a lot of people in the shelter?
A whole lot. It's good that people went down and took shelter instead of staying at home.
This address suffered the most destruction, but there are also serious consequences on Metropolita Andrei Street. There, a 3-story building in the historic district was destroyed. Nearby, 3 buildings of Lviv Polytechnic University were also damaged. In total, nearly 50 buildings were damaged in several districts of the city, with more than 500 windows shattered. 2 industrial facilities and 19 business properties were also affected. In one of the buildings, a wall even collapsed.
Right now, work is still underway to eliminate the consequences of the wall collapse at one of the sites. So, the wall collapsed unexpectedly while people were there. Fortunately, no one was hurt. Now our teams, including rope access specialists, will be dealing with the aftermath. That is, there are sagging slabs and dangerous elements there that need to be removed and dealt with.
An on-site commission from the city council is also working here. People are being told how to get compensation and where to turn if their homes have been damaged. They are also offering temporary accommodation in hotels or compensation for rent. And it's known that 6 families have already been settled in hotels.
Here at 35 Alina Stepanivna Street, there are 7 apartments in this building. And as of now, the building is being inspected by police officers. But this building is partially seriously damaged, and it is destroyed. And as of now, people cannot live there. And in fact, some people have already arranged with relatives to stay with them, while others, who don't have relatives to move in with, will be staying in hotels.
6 people sought medical help after today's shelling, the military administration says, and 1 man was hospitalized. Natalia.
Marichka, thank you. Marichka Kuzhik spoke about the difficult times for Lviv and the consequences of the attacks by Russian martyrs. She is with us live and will be providing more information in the upcoming broadcasts. Thank you. From Kharkiv region to Sumy, from Lviv to Bukovina, the Russians did not hold back in striking Ukraine with cruise missiles and hundreds of drones. There are dead and wounded. President Zelensky shared photos of the nighttime attack. 26 cruise missiles and 597 drones were launched at Ukraine. Not all were shot down, although most were. 25 missiles and 319 attack drones were neutralized by the defense forces. But there were hits on civilian infrastructure, including residential buildings. Zelensky expressed condolences to the families of the 2 people killed in Chernivtsi and once again called on partners to respond with sanctions. We need tough secondary sanctions against everyone who helps the Russians produce drones and profit from oil. We need more air defense systems and investments in interceptor drones, the president emphasized. 2 people were killed as a result of a massive Russian attack in western Ukraine. In Chernivtsi, A 26-year-old woman and a 43-year-old man were killed in the shelling. 14 people were injured. These are the latest figures from the Regional Military Administration. At night, the enemy struck the city and its outskirts. Fires broke out at 3 different locations at once. Firefighters have already extinguished the sources of the fires. Residential buildings, shops, administrative buildings, and cars were damaged. In the residential sector, rescuers evacuated residents from destroyed homes. According to the head of the Regional Military Administration, Ruslan Zaparnyuk, the occupiers attacked Chernivtsi with 4 drones and 1 missile. Destruction was also recorded in the region. In the territory of the Storozynets community, a residential building and a car were damaged. But there were no casualties or injuries.
Tragically, due to falling debris from enemy objects in Chernivtsi, 2 people were killed. A 26-year-old woman and a 43-year-old man, and 4 more people were seriously injured. Our doctors are now fighting for their lives. 1 woman is in very critical condition. 10 people sustained minor injuries and received medical assistance at the scene. All relevant emergency services are currently working at the sites where enemy debris fell. Please do not approach these locations. It could be dangerous.
And we continue. Due to the massive Russian attack on Ukraine, Poland scrambled fighter jets. According to the operational command of the Polish Armed Forces, it involved not only Polish, but also Allied aircraft. Air defense and radar control systems were also brought to the highest level of combat readiness. This is not the first time Poland has scrambled its jets due to a massive Russian bombardment. Announcer. In particular, last March, the country's airspace was violated by a Russian missile, which later returned to Ukrainian territory. The Senate Armed Services Committee has approved a defense budget with $500 million for Ukraine. The funds are allocated for security assistance to our country for the next fiscal year. However, this budget still needs to be approved by lawmakers and signed by Donald Trump. He himself, by the way, will for the first time provide Ukraine with a military aid package worth $300 million. This was reported by Reuters, citing 2 informed sources. It concerns the allocation of aid under a program that allows the president to make decisions without congressional approval. Until now, Ukraine had been receiving aid approved during the Joe Biden administration. The package, according to sources, will include, among other things, missiles for Patriot air defense systems and medium-range missiles. However, a final decision on what will be included has not yet been made. In addition, Trump promised on camera to make an important statement about Russia on Monday. Trump's special representative will visit Ukraine for an extended stay. Keith Kellogg announced that he will arrive in Kyiv as early as Monday. He shared this on the sidelines of the Ukraine Recovery Conference in Rome. Announcer, according to Trump's special representative, his visit will last for a week. It should be noted that Keith Kellogg has previously visited Ukraine, not only during negotiations on Donald Trump's peace initiatives, but also in February 2023 together with his daughter, who heads an American charity organization that helps Ukrainians. By the way, Kellogg's daughter commented several times last month on Russia's massive attacks on Ukraine. On social media, Meghan Mops also addressed her father, saying that it seems the Russians do not want peace.